Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. About roughly a week ago, I made this video titled Ripple XRP, Elon Musk warned you about this, pay attention. And this was 6 days ago. Now in that video, I spotlighted this video posted by Peter St. Onge over on X, and it was talking about universal basic income coming to Canada. Now, mind you, this video is from December 27th, 2023. And as you guys do see here, right, community notes said Canada is not implementing a universal basic income. One senator and one MP have bills that instruct the finance minister to develop a framework and report on UBI. Neither bill mentions a specific dollar amount nor directly implements UBI. Now in this full video, we have a full breakdown of how universal basic income is coming to Canada. Canada hits the loot the treasury stage, set to hand everybody $2,000 per month, whether they work or not. This will drive inflation, it will destroy the treasury, and it will convert millions of Canadian workers into permanent parasites on the remaining few who work. Now, I'm not going to play the video because, like I said, I already included it in a video. But the reason why I'm bringing this back up is, well, because guess what we just got? Well, we got a full breakdown from CTV News. And this just got posted on May 10th. What is basic income and how would it impact me? This is in Canada, guys. And we have down here that these politicians are considering a pair of bills aiming to lift people out of poverty through a basic income program, but some fear these types of systems could result in more taxes for Canadians who are already financially struggling. And yes, because the whole idea of lifting people out of poverty is not giving them more money that you have to print, which increases everything around them. How is this even financially literate? It's not. And we have these bills, S233 and C223, respectively, in a bid to create the first national framework to provide all people over the age of 17 across Canada, including temporary workers, permanent residents, and refugee claimants, a guaranteed livable basic income. The bills contain the same proposal. They said that they created two bills with the same text to increase the chances of having at least one of them passed by the Senate or House of Commons, sorry. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty interesting, and they give us a full breakdown of what basic income actually is, which, again, we've already known about this, like universal basic income. We've been talking about it for years. In fact, a lot of people have called it a conspiracy theory, and it's just funny at this point that, people are still looking at it as such. We have it ensures everyone can meet their basic needs and live with dignity regardless of their work status. They don't even question what this does for the entire economy. They don't even think about any after effects. But this is what they actually want. They are not idiots when it comes to this. They know what they're doing. They know exactly how this is going to affect the economy. We have down here that in this case, even those who are already millionaires could get the same amount of money per month as middle class or lower income residents, and people don't have to apply. Another type of basic income program is a negative income tax, which is more complicated to administer than universal basic income. Basically, they set an income threshold that everybody's going to meet, and whatever you earn in the labor market or on social assistance, they top it up to get you to that amount. Interesting. So we have to be eligible, participants must be below the threshold, which for the Ontario pilot was about roughly almost $17,000 per year for an individual. In both cases, the government would provide the money, and observers expect workers would be paying more taxes since they would be earning more. And hey, why not tax people more money? Because taxes aren't already outrageous. And we also have how would it affect workers? Again, they think that this is going to be benefiting both workers and businesses. How? Please tell me how. They're going to be taxed even more. So, regardless of if you are making more money or not, you're still paying for something like this. It reminds me of stimulus. Everyone was celebrating it, and then guess what ended up happening? All of a sudden, everything around us became extremely expensive. And then that's when everyone was so negative about it. Why is everything going up in value behind us? Like, what's going on? I can't afford my groceries because inflation. How did it happen? Well, go back to 2020. Look at what ended up happening. Look at the M2 money supply. But regardless, right, they fully break all of this down. Again, we don't have to go in depth on how this is going to affect things. We already know how it's going to affect things. Giving out free money like this is never a positive thing. In fact, it's only going to cause more damage. Now, beyond this, I put out a post quoting this, and I said, I already warned you about it. They said it was a conspiracy theory and that it won't happen. Here is the plan broken down in the most simple way possible. Make everything around you extremely expensive through inflation, which just happened, right? This has been happening for years now. And I don't even think it doesn't just go back to 2020. Go back, 3 decades ago. Look at the values 3 decades ago to now. I mean, inflation has been brewing for a very long time. But the pandemic really accelerated it. Keep wages at a level where you need to tap into savings and credit so you have zero funds for emergencies. And this is a key thing to focus on because once you have that, everyone is struggling financially, and that's when they introduce the UBI. It incentivizes those in need to adopt and utilize it, and that's what they want. That's why when you look at a lot of these areas, you look at the grocery cost, you look at the housing cost, everything is getting so ridiculous. So how can they push their nonsense? How can they push their agenda? Well, they make things so expensive. They make it to the point where you have no savings. And then they introduce that UBI and you're on the system. Now, the question here is, how can we escape this? How can we get away from this? Well, you need to be doing research. You need to understand ways of making as much money as possible. Understand ways to put your money to work, because right now a savings account is not cutting it. A savings account is just a glorified account where you are parking your money and you are losing money year over year due to inflation. But then they use the media to claim how successful it was and how everyone is using it. This is similar to how the pandemic made cash usage drop significantly. And immediately after, we heard how we need to go digital now. Once the media is spewing the success nonsense, all other nations support UBI and start rolling out the program too. Welcome to the age of universal basic income. This was all constructed by those who caused inflation. It's a plan that has been in play for a while now, and it's officially beginning. And over here, right? This is also a big thing that is going to even force UBI into every nation. AI. This is from the IMF. We have reshaping the nature of work. Now, in this video, in the beginning, I mainly was talking about AI. This is Larry Fink telling you that substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in countries that have a declining population. And even in this video, if we skip ahead, here's Elon Musk back in 2019 saying that we need universal basic income in 2019. And the main point that he made was the fact that automation through AI is replacing jobs. Over here, we have the IMF staff examine the potential impact of AI on the global labor market. Many studies have predicted the likelihood that jobs will be replaced by AI, yet we know that in many cases AI is likely to complement human work. The IMF analysis captures both these forces. But almost 40% of the global employment is exposed to AI. Once AI can do a job better than a human, it is game over. 60% of jobs may be impacted by AI, even in advanced economies. In emerging markets and low-income countries, by contrast, AI exposure is expected to be 40% and 26%, respectively. Now, beyond that, here is the full breakdown of AI's impact on jobs. We have high exposure, high complementarity, sorry, and then also the high exposure and low exposure. And you can see that here on this graph. Now, beyond this, right, going back to the universal basic income in Canada, check this out. Canada Costco prices are insane. Check this clip out.
That Costco edition.
So $39 for just ground beef. Interesting. Here's some, I believe, pork loins. We're talking, I can't really see the price on this. $75. Here's almost $50. It looks like steak.
What the fuck? Ew. What the fuck?
I mean, look at the prices of some of these meats. It's insane that this is now the price of things around these stores. Here's grapes, $15. So this is what this is something that I have been addressing when it comes to groceries. This is what I've been, this is the main focus when I talk about UBI and the reset, right? When we talk about a financial reset, they're gearing us up for it. They're making sure that everything around us is so damn expensive while wages pretty much stay the same. They just keep you under that threshold so that you cannot really have a major emergency fund. And most people also are spending way beyond their means. It is extremely hard to get by. And it's only going to continue to get worse because this is what they want. Even over here, we have 60% of renters never expect to own. Fed survey of consumer expectations results yesterday. Home and rent price increase expectations climbing fast again. Stagflation is here. And yes, as we continue to look at housing, at vehicles, at anything around us, it is getting extremely hard to own. When we talk about renting and things like that, it's even getting expensive around, housing. Renting is extremely expensive at this point. But beyond this, right, what this reminds me of is if we go back to December of 2016, and this got posted by the World Economic Forum, welcome to 2030. Interesting. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. That's right. Now, if we go over here, the original link, by the way, got completely removed, but there was a Medium post that they didn't remove. And this is from the 2016 timeframe, World Economic Forum. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. In this full breakdown, what do they give us? Well, we have welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say our city? I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes. Hello? This is something that we've been talking about. And this is an elite organization telling us exactly this back in 2016. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in this city. Everything you considered a product has now become a service. We have access to transportation, accommodation, food, and all the things we need in our daily lives. One by one, all of these things became free. So it ended up not making sense for us to own much. First, communication became digitized and free to everyone. Then, when clean energy became free, things started to move quickly. Transportation dropped dramatically in price. It made no sense for us to own cars anymore because we could call a driverless vehicle or a flying car for longer journeys within minutes. We started transporting ourselves in much more organized and coordinated ways when public transportation became easier, quicker, and more convenient than the car. Now I can hardly believe that we accepted congestion and traffic jams, not to mention the air pollution from combustion engines. What were we thinking? It's so crazy that this is literally them telling us their full plan of action. Even here, environmental problems seem far away. This also made the breakthrough of the circular economy easier when products are turned into services. No one has an interest in things with a short lifespan. So they want shopping to be done. They don't want you going out and buying anything. We even have here that when AI and robots took over so much of our work, we suddenly had time to eat well, sleep well, and spend time with other people. The concept of rush hour makes no sense anymore since the work that we do can be done at any time. I don't really know if I would call it work anymore. It is more like thinking time, creation time, and development time. Interesting. And we also have they live different kinds of lives outside the city. And this is those 15-minute cities that they have been talking about for a while as well. When we talk about XRP, when we talk about Ripple, we talk about the reset. We talk about what's happening. And this is what they want to push us into. This is where UBI becomes a reality. And you know what's crazy about all of this is even when we talk about AI replacing jobs, like here's $20 an hour minimum wage, and this is how McDonald's responds. No registers open, no menus turned on, self-serve only. Thoughts on this? And well, look at this. This is what a McDonald's looks like now. And even here, let's get digital at the front. Like this is reality. This is where we are headed, especially with a full reset. And it really all starts with the downfall of the economies. And this is what's happening in progress right now. When we talk about crypto, when we talk about gold and silver, when we talk about these, things that we are investing into, it's to escape this dystopian world that these elites are trying to push onto us. And people still don't believe it. But when we look at what's happening, when we look at these plans of actions, they've been telling us these things for years and years and years, and it's truly happening. You have to wake up. You have to look at this with your eyes open. So many people are blinded by nonsense to the point where they're not even paying attention anymore. They're just kind of zombies to their phone screens and to their TV screens. They're not even looking at the plan of action. Back in 2016, they warned us. Now, it's fully happening. 4 years later, after this post, we got the pandemic. The pandemic accelerated the digitalization of everything around us. And now, 4 years later, after the pandemic, we are now seeing the rollout of UBI, the discussions of CBDCs heavily. 93% of central banks around the world are moving on CBDCs. You can't make this stuff up. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.